Hi, my name is Andrew Yusuchi, project number 299412, and this is my presentation for Mobile Web Programming Lab Assignment 1. The app that I chose is the Field Course Estimator, developing using Flutter. Next, we'll move on to our demo session.
Now we'll start our demo session. So basically, the main class here, the main objective here is to build the Jira app, and the main widgets that we use is the debug show check mode banner, which is used to remove the debug banner. And then for the scaffold background color, we change it to white color because I want the default scaffold color to be white to match the image of our app. And then home splash screen means that it's used to when the app first launches, it will directly go to the splash screen. So as shown here. So the scaffold will be white, and then it will directly go to the splash screen. Next up, we have the splash screen class, which essentially is the loading screen. And in this splash screen class, we use a stateful widget because a task is done. And the task being done is we using the init state. So init state basically it's a class which can be used to it's only gonna be ran once every time the widget is called. So if we call the widget again, it won't be run after it has been ran the first time. So you can see with the splash screen here. So this splash screen will be delayed for 3 seconds. After 3 seconds, it will be pushed to the home screen. And as you can see here, there's an image and a loading indicator and a loading text here. So for this, it is being built with the widget here. So we use column here, and then we align it all to the center. And then following the procedure, we use image, and then the circular indicator, the size box, and the loading screen. And for the image, we have inputted in the asset image file within the project. So we have our home screen class. So this is the home screen as shown. So we'll talk about the state variables first. So the variables used is the text editing controller for distance and path to efficiency. So this is used to so that we can read the input from the user when they type in here. And for the other variables, the estimated cost is the cost that is going to be displayed here is to store the value of the estimated cost. And the field type here we put as string and then we put a question mark here so that the variable can be known and it won't cause any errors that can stop the system. Uh, and for the display price, this is to show the price of the type or the field that the user has selected. So the 195 is shown as 2 ringgit and 60 cents per liter. And for the error message here is for validation purposes. So whenever the user selected the field but they didn't enter distance or any of the inputs, so it will show a error message here to remind the user. And for the field prices here, in order uh, to link the field and the field type of the field and the field price. So I had used a map here. So the field type will be the key and the value will be the price of the specific field type. So next up we have the validation part. So for the validation part here, we use the try pass method here to validate input by the users, the distance and efficiency. So this part is check whether the users has entered the correct type. For example, like ABC or the users didn't enter anything. So it will defaultly put uh, the input as null. And then next up for this method here, the if else here we use to check whether the values entered here is a number, but is it valid or not? Like basically distance cannot be zero and distance cannot be a negative. So if we enter a negative value here and then we calculate, so it will display an error and then it will update the system using set state. And if it's correct, we will use the logic here. So to calculate the cost, we use the total liters and then we times it with the price per liter. And then we will clear, because it is correct, so we will clear the error message. So we can show here if we put the correct input, so you know, display the estimated cost and we will clear the error message. And then it will update the system quickly. So next up is the UI part of the home screen here. So at first we put an app bar. So the app bar here, so the text is still estimated, a very simple one. And then we put the background color to a green accent color. And then for the body, we use single chart scroll wheel. So this will prevent the keyboard overflow. So whenever this is a web, right? But if we were to develop in a application that can be used in the phone, so whenever there's a pop-up keyboard, so it won't cause an overflow. And then we use a column here and then we align it all to the center. So for each here we put for each of the column we put a row here. So we can put different widgets here. So for the first row here, we have the field type, and then we use the expand widget to make it prettier. And then we have to drop down menu here. So this is the list. So this will be take the value from the map that we previously declared. And so every time it is selected with a different field type, and then it will set the state. So the display message here, or the display price here will be changed. And then we use a size box here for this this gap here. And then we set the default display price if it's zero. So if it's the no, when we press reset button, so it will be empty, so it won't display anything here. And then this will select the system. The next up is the row for the distance. So for the distance here, we put the text here and then we take input from the user. And then we have a column box here. So it is done by we put our controller here and then we decorate it with a outline and then we label it with a enter distance. And for the power field efficiency, so basically it's more or less same as the distance. And then we just change the controller and text. So next up we have the button for these two buttons here. So we use this because it's a row, so the main axis will be the row, and it's spaced around, so it's equally spaced here. And then every time the calculate field cost is pressed, so it will call the method. We will call the method, uh, which is which will perform the calculation. And then for the reset button, it will clear everything within the things that the user entered. Like for example, anything including the field type here. It will also set the field type to null, and then it will set the display price to zero and display cost to zero. And then it will update the system. So as shown. In technologies, we have the box decoration for the last part, which display the estimated cost. So it's decorated using padding, using the decoration feature, we color it, and then the border radius we use it circular, so it doesn't have the sharp edges. And then we change the color of the border as well, so it's look more beautiful. And for the text within it, we use this, and then we will fetch the estimated cost, and then we will fix it to do two decimal places, and then we change the font, the style, and then the color of it. And then for this part is the error message. So, for example, if I type something wrong, or I do select any field type, so when I type calculate, so it will update the error message and the error message will be automatically displayed. Yeah, so whenever if we enter the correct things to calculate, and then it will update because previously saying that it will put the error message to null, and then if because the error message is null, right, so it won't display anything there. And then that's for my presentation.